Welcome to the SNN Network Summer Virtual Event. We are pleased to introduce the next presenter for today's event, Thomas Rosander, CEO of Real Luck Group. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And hi, everyone. My intention today is to bring you up to speed with the latest development at Luckbox. We've had an extremely eventful first half of the year, and I'll provide an overview of what we do, and we'll touch on the massive opportunity that exists in the esports space, one of the most exciting and potentially most lucrative sectors anywhere. Skipping through disclaimer, you can find that on our site as well. Luckbox is an award-winning betting platform built specifically to meet the demands of esports fans and generation Y and Z. We trade publicly on the TSX-V under the ticker LUK, and in the US on the OTCQB under the ticker LUKEF. Our vision is to become the #1 betting platform for esports worldwide. And we've built Luckbox specifically to pursue the massive opportunity that esports offers. Esports revenues are expected to rise to $1.6 billion by 2024. And separately to that, the esports betting market is by far the biggest monetization opportunity associated with the esports industry. It's estimated that there were more than 18 billion wagered on esports last year. We believe we can grow to dominate this sector and capitalize on its huge growth potential. But going forward, esports betting will be one of 3 revenue streams. We're already live with our sportsbook, accepting wagers on more than 100 different sports such as football, basketball, soccer, and hockey. We're also adding casino later in the year. This is important as it adds an important near-term revenue stream. And lastly, before we go into the full presentation, we got ample cash to execute on our growth plan. And of course, we also have the right team to do it. Many of you already know about the esports space and its potential, but I want to reiterate a few important facts. The global online gambling market is expected to grow from $64 billion last year to $72 billion this year. It is then expected to reach $112 billion in 2025. Within this broad betting market, our core esports betting segment generated gross gaming revenue, or GGR, of about $750 million last year, which is about 1% of the total global sports betting GGR. While different market data providers have varied market segmentations and views, the esports wagering market is expected to grow at a 30 to 40% annual growth rate in the medium term. The key takeaway from that is that esports betting is a very new market and it's still at a very early stage, which of course means that the upside potential is enormous. The growth is driven by a fundamental shift in how we experience entertainment and what types of entertainment we prefer. Globally, 2.8 billion people play video games, and that number continues to grow. The entire video game industry is expected to be worth $268 billion by 2025. For context, in North America, gaming is already a bigger sector than the movie and sports industries combined. Betting is the best revenue driver in esports, and it's just the beginning. At Luckbox, we're deploying the best monetization tool in human history, gambling. We're a gambling company, and we are dead set on becoming number one in what is about to become the largest betting market in the world. Luckbox is, of course, already live, taking bets in more than 80 countries, and in the future we will be able to attract players from new markets as we acquire more local licenses. This includes Canada, which last week announced that betting on single sport events will become legal as of August 27th. Our objective is to deliver what we are calling the 3.0 betting experience. If we consider 2.0 to be the traditional sportsbook interface that enables live betting, then we are leveling up again, leaning heavily on user engagement and a better, more intense user experience. We're building a product to exceed the expectations of players who are from a younger and more tech-savvy generation. They are used to consuming and engaging with content at a much faster pace than what is currently available. Think about platforms such as Spotify, Netflix, and TikTok, where content and media is the very core of the engagement methodology, allowing these companies to build an ecosystem and a business around that user engagement. At Luckbox, we're already differentiating from traditional sportsbooks with our front end. It is modern and heavily influenced by video games. It works perfectly on mobile, has live streams, and it's super intuitive. Our efforts at the moment are to enhance our product even further, make player onboarding much more efficient with better payment methods, personalized marketing campaigns, and gamification. The 3.0 betting experience consists of the three following areas: a superior betting offer that requires data to compile our own odds, a trading team, so digital bookmakers, and a platform that supports all of this. A superior user experience, which means awesome conversion, customer relationship management that makes every player feel like a VIP, and most importantly, a betting interface for the Gen Y and Z. And lastly, a scalable acquisition model with as many traffic sources as possible, an extensive content network, and real-time player attribution. So how do we make money? Well, we're a B2C proposition with two revenue streams already live on the platform. That's esports betting and sports betting, and we are working on adding a third in the form of casino, which we expect to be by the end of 2021. The model is simple. Players bet on our platform and we make money on the margin. Again, this is something we're already doing. Our numbers aren't yet material as we are yet to spend significantly on player marketing. But when we do, by the end of the year, we will see revenue start to climb. Sports betting and esports betting are fantastic low-cost acquisition channels, and casino is a proven method of increasing the lifetime value of players. As I mentioned, building revenue from casino is something I have done repeatedly with great success in the past. With our three verticals, we can offer our audience diverse, always-on, betting relevant content that is tried, tested, and globally scalable. While business models are fairly typical across the iGaming industry, our technical makeup is a big factor in what will give us a competitive advantage. You can see here some of the pieces of the puzzle that makes Luckbox what it is. Our odds feed, soon to be the best in the industry, if it isn't already. It has live streams, roosters, and stats to ensure a fantastic betting experience. Our payment solution that allows us to offer a faster array of payment options for players across the world. Less friction to deposit directly translates to higher revenues for Luckbox. Since I took over the role as CEO, these pieces of the puzzle have been my top priority to make sure our acquisition and retention efforts are highly efficient and that the return on investment on marketing spend is maximized. I can't stress this strongly enough. Our team is definitely our greatest strength. Not only do we have a passion for esports that has enabled us to build an authentic gamer-friendly product, but more importantly, we have the gambling industry knowledge and proven track record of driving revenues in the space. I have myself over 16 years of experience in the iGaming and video gaming industry. Before Luckbox, I was CEO of Thunder Casino. I've been CEO and CPO at Mr. Green Online Casino, and I built business intelligence for Bwin or Entain and Electronic Arts. And the latter, I was also part of building up and launched their free-to-play publishing business. Most recently at Thunder, we achieved a yearly revenue of 80 million euros in less than 3 years. And that was with a lot less funding and infrastructure than I have at my disposal right now. Across the whole team, we're stacked with talent with a proven track record of delivering results. Our sportsbook director, Metodi, he built the trading models and teams for some of the largest brands, including Entain. Ron Cuspis, our CFO, who has over 15 years in corporate finance with various global public companies, including gambling companies like 888 or 888. Carl, our director of product, led product design functions at Full Tilt Poker and PokerStars and Ryanair. Nevzat, who is leading our content team, he did the same for Red Bull and Riot. And on the team, we also have Lee Hills, who is our Director of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, and he has more than a decade of experience in licensing and a great success rate in acquiring those licenses, which of course will come handy in the near term. These are just a few key members of our talent team. We continue to build a team, and we're currently looking for a marketing director and a chief customer officer. It's been a little over 100 days since I took over as CEO. During that time, I've been able to take a deep dive into the business, and I identified some key areas for improvement that was necessary if we were to grow to the scale we want. This meant a slight recalibration of timelines that had been shared publicly prior to me taking over as CEO. We estimate that the required infrastructure upgrades will cost us about 2 quarters from the previous estimates. It is of course not what I wanted, but anything else would have been irresponsible. And I can assure you we're intensely driven to create the very best product in the market. The good news is that I can assure you that we are on track to deliver and will be where I want us to be by the end of the year. All of these partnerships that you see are super important for our success, and there are a few more to come. Due to time, I'll just briefly mention them. Aspire Global's BtoBet and Pariplay platforms not only enable us to provide casino, but also paves the way for us to build our own sport odds, esport odds, and access multiple data streams. They also effectively cover both developing and more established regulated markets, which of course suits us perfectly as well. Our partnership with Bambora's payment gateway, Payment IQ, is already in production on our site, and it's of course an important component to increase conversion and make it easier for players to deposit money with us. Solistix serves both as our data platform and real-time player engagement tool. It gives us the ability to personalize and automate player communication through all channels and, of course, in the product itself. It also gives us complete control over all our raw data, which we need for machine learning, AI, and advanced modeling that we, for example, use to tailor the betting experience and optimize our marketing spend. PublishMe is a full-service marketing agency that has helped us build our in-house content studio in record time. Content is, as mentioned before, consumed like never before and is a crucial part of our marketing strategy. We are, of course, not the only company capitalizing on the huge opportunity that esports betting presents. We are, however, esports betting done right. The competitive landscape is largely made up of legacy operators, Bet365, William Hill, and Betfair, and on the other side, endemic esports-focused operators such as Rivalry, Unicorn, and GGBet. Then there are companies that span the two sides, such as Betway, Pinnacle, and OneBet. The problem with traditional sportsbooks is that they currently seem to treat esports as an afterthought, with little appetite for engaging this particular and very different audience. And the problem that many of the newer endemic esports-focused companies have is that they don't have strong licensing and iGaming expertise, which directly affects their product and revenue streams. On this slide, we've looked at two elements: UI, so user interface, and esports match coverage. Luckbox stands out from the crowd as our fully bespoke platform offers a user interface designed for this generation of bettors, with streams running live right next to the odds. Our top-tier license in the Isle of Man, along with the high-quality providers we have partnered with, give us the best possible coverage of matches and markets. New betting provider and enhanced sports book. As I mentioned, our deal with Aspire Global is already done, and we're working on implementing it as we speak. It also paves the way for us to implement casino, which we know will bring us significant additional revenue stream and increase the lifetime value of our esports bettors. All of this work to enhance the platform is being done so that we are in the best position possible to acquire players. Timing is important. We'll ramp up our marketing spend as our conversion and retention mechanisms are completed, which should be by year end. And that's when we expect to see our revenues and other metrics start to climb as well. In parallel to our ongoing platform improvements, the team is working hard to ensure we're live with the casino as soon as possible. The estimate is still Q4 this year. The deal with Aspire means we will be able to provide players with a premium casino offer right out of the box from the get-go. For the company, that means more revenue and improved lifetime value of players. And I'm personally very excited about this and feel very confident in having a casino that, something that I've been very successful with in the past, as a complementary revenue stream to the enormous long-term opportunity that esports betting is. In addition to our exciting opportunity and talented team, our balance sheet with around 19.2 million of cash and no debt as of last of March is crucial, as it gives us the capability to execute on our growth plans without needing to raise any external capital. I want to acknowledge the support from our shareholders and banking partners in enabling a strong cap table with 31.6% insider ownership and 43.9 shares locked up. We have roughly 68.6 million basic shares outstanding, which gives us a basic market capitalization of 27.5 million Canadian dollars and an enterprise value of around 8.3 million. Currently, we have a market cap of approximately 30 million, and although our share price has back off our highs in February, like most in the space, we think there is tremendous upside in the sector and, of course, in Luckbox as we continue to hit our milestones. Regarding the sector, earlier this month we saw the Score being bought by Penn National for around $2 billion. The premium paid in this deal is driven by the Score's tech stack and content network. We think that this bodes well for Luckbox going forward as we continue to build out our unique technology stack and content. Additionally, that thinking is further strengthened by another recent deal that you might have seen with Entain buying Unicorn for their tech capabilities and know-how. So before I open up for questioning, I would like to summarize a few key takeaways. We are well positioned in a massive new market. We have an experienced dream team whose expertise spans both esports and iGaming. Importantly, we have a proven track record of quickly generating revenue in this space and maximizing opportunities. We're cashed up with plenty of runway to execute. We have near-term value drivers for the rest of the year. For example, integration of casino, further partnerships, kicking off our marketing activities, and hopefully progress on the licensing front. In terms of timing, we're also in a fantastic position. We're at the sharp end of an industry that is already booming and is only going in one direction. With the Luckbox platform honed in and our marketing strategy in place, we're extremely confident to be able to meet all our growth targets. With that, I'm done, and thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward to any questions you might have.
Great. Thanks, Thomas. It's Nick here. So we've got a few questions coming in. Let me start with the first one. What would you say is the primary external catalyst that could lead to a major inflection point for Luckbox?
Yeah, so there's a difference between near-term and long-term here. And the near-term largest catalyst is for sure going to be the online casino, because that's, as I mentioned, is something that we really know well, and we're going to have it from the get-go with the partner, and yeah, it's just something that works, and we know how to operate it. And so that's, as I said, coming in by the end of the year. But with that said, the long-term strategy and the reason why we exist, and it's not just another online casino, is that we see and recognize this enormous opportunity that exists in esports betting, and that is something that is a little bit more long-term. But when that happens, it is going to be a lot bigger than just a casino. So I think for an investor, I think this is you should consider both the near term as a revenue driver, but there is there's an extra upside on that coming, which is much bigger, which is the esports betting focus that we have.
Great. And the next question pertains to some of the M&A that we've seen in the space recently. As you mentioned, the Score and Unicorn. If you could just provide any color and additional thoughts around those acquisitions or what you see playing out from an M&A perspective.
Yeah, it's like a stamp on our thinking, and as I mentioned, like the last thing you want to do when you come in as a new CEO into a company is pull the brakes and try to make sure that we have the best product available. But these acquisitions that we've seen recently, they kind of confirms that was the right choice. To succeed, you have to have an ace product, like it has to be top notch, and the same includes content, the content network, the tech stack in general, and the entire setup. And what we're doing now, the reason I had to slow down a little bit and make sure that we really master the basics was to make sure that we have those things, which are exactly the reason why these companies have been bought with the premium. So I think it feels for us, it feels really good to see those acquisitions coming, and when what we are building is going to be something completely different. Like we're not spending time on building something that is just going to be fairly competitive. We're building something that to become the best, and this gives us the confidence that it's just the right strategy. And I would be surprised that or let's say the objective with this is that we want our product to be the benchmark and the one that everybody's going to want in the future.
Great. Thank you, Thomas. There are no more questions. I'll give it back to you for any closing remarks.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I'm happy with that, and again, we are honed in. We have full pockets. We are going to deliver on time towards the end of the year, and after that, hopefully numbers will start going up, and we're ready to dominate this market and take that position as the #1 esports betting destination. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the Real Luck Group presentation. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect.